Hey there guys, what's up? It's Gil right here, back on 5-9. Of course, we're here to talk about the Genshin 1.4 update livestream that just happened a couple of hours ago. For those of you who have missed it, a lot was revealed this time around. Of course, we have the Monstat Festival making its appearance in 1.4. Of course, we're going to be covering through the major points we've seen today, which is honestly quite a lot. It honestly surprises me each time Genshin brings out an update. They still can add something that just astounds me to this day. It's just always amazing. But first and foremost, we are going to talk about Rosaria. Now, Rosaria was revealed today. Of course, we were expecting her to come anytime soon. You know, it's been been in the teaser since 1.2, I think it was. So finally seeing her is fantastic. Of course, she is a cryopolarm user. Of course, for those of you who haven't seen it, you probably could go on to Honey Impact and probably check it out for yourself how she is. And I'm not gonna lie, based on her trailer, of course, there are certain features of her that were promoted, but it was very interesting to see her skill set. Of course, she, with her E, could easily just jump to the back of an enemy, provided the enemy wasn't a huge enemy, quote unquote. So kind of very useful in that regards. And then of course her ultimate would basically drop a ice pill or ice spear, I should say, kind of similar to Chongyun. So gonna be very interesting to see how she plays, what her role is basically in the game. From what I also do know as well, based on some research I've done on the side, is that she increases crit rate for the whole party as well. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how people build her. Will people run her more of as a support? Will people run her as a main DPS? Will people run her as a sub unit to say Ganyu, to kind of support Ganyu instead? It's gonna be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing her in action. With her, you know, comes new banners, of course, and this was the biggest shocker. We're getting a Venti rerun, which wasn't the surprise. The biggest surprise is Tartaglia getting a rerun. Now, I personally was going into this whole update thinking we're going to be getting a Jean run, honestly. This, you know, we got Keiching in the last update, so I was like, you know what, or the last update, the recent update, and I genuinely was like, okay, if they're gonna do these perma characters having a banner of their own and a featured rate-up banner, I was like, you know what, Venti into Jean. That would be perfect. Double Animo works well with the Monstat Festival theme, but I guess not. They decided to bring back Tartaglia. Now, in my opinion, out of the two, if you haven't gone Venti or Tartaglia, I'd say prioritize Venti. Venti is the better unit, in my opinion. The better overall support, the better, I wouldn't say user, I mean that it's kind of weird as the way of phrasing it, but he's basically going to be somebody who you can take into any team and still, you know, use him for a long time. Whereas Tartaglia, I feel, has been outgunned and outbatched by a lot of other units coming after him, and even before him, arguably, with Klee. So while I do love Tartaglia, and I've seen, you know, based on the trial runs and some usage of him using the 5-9 account, I just feel like you could benefit from Venti more than Tartaglia. Now, this is all down to opinion and playstyle as well, in my opinion. You know, if you've enjoyed using Tartaglia and you couldn't get him the first time, well, by all means, go for him. And also, he is the second banner, so you're more likelier to get him rather than Venti, because if you summon on Hu Tao or Xiao or Keiching, you're gonna have more Primo saved up for Tartaglia. So it's all down to your Primo count, how your playstyle is, what you need in the team, and so on and so forth. But I mean, as somebody who has Venti, I would be more inclined to go for Tartaglia. It's just that I don't want to go for Tartaglia either, to be honest. I have a couple of DPSs already on my team, and I'm personally going to skip him. But again, like I said, for anybody out there, this might be a fantastic option. I am genuinely astounded he's coming back. As I said, this means a lot of things, and in my opinion, that does also mean we could be getting a Zhongli rerun in the near future, a Klee run in the future. So I'd say expect a couple of more reruns. Moving on to the next thing, of course, is the new weapons coming into the game. It's obviously only one banner we've seen so far, so I'm wondering if there's going to be a second banner, and if this is going to be a 3-banner update like we've had in 1.3. But this bow is called the Elegy of the End, or Elegy for the End. Of course, this is coming from the beta, so Obviously, it's subject to change. We have to remember that. It is very much emphasizing on support. This is a huge support board. This definitely seems like it was built to be used with Venti effectively, right? So it increases elemental mastery by 60, and when elemental skills or burst hits an opponent, the character gains a sigil. This effect can be triggered every 0.2 seconds, and it can be triggered if said character is even not on the field. When you possess, four sigils of remembrance, all of them will be consumed, and all nearby party members will obtain the Millennial Movement Farewell Song effect for 12 seconds, and this increases elemental mastery by 120% attack. Once this effect is triggered, you will not gain any sigils for 20 seconds, and of the many effects of the Millennial Movement, buffs of the same type will not stack. So, again, very much you can tell this is for Venti. You dump his E or his Q, and you can have a lot of fun with it, quite literally, right? So, elemental skills and elemental burst, both of which Venti will be thriving off. This is it. This is it. And it also has energy recharge, which kind of goes in line with Venti. I personally would have preferred Elemental Mastery. I think that would have been a much better secondary stat for him, considering you can easily get a lot of recharge on Venti already. So it's like, whatever. But it's still very, very solid. I think he's going to be living with this, especially because of the amount of Elemental Mastery he gets quite literally from this. It's ridiculous. So, very, very good weapon. The next very interesting thing of this update is the Abyss Herald. And along with the Abyss Herald is Dainsliv's quest is going to be continuing in this 1.4 update. Now, for those of you who have been part of the 5.9 streams, I have been playing Genshin with a Troco, of course, and the one thing we've been mentioned about is the Abyss Herald, and one of the things I've mentioned as well that I wanted from the Monstat Festival, even though, we got leaked it a couple of weeks ago and stuff like that, was I really desperately wanted more story. I wanted there to be some progression. I wanted there to be a potential lead into Inazuma or whatever is coming up next, because I'm there like, yeah, okay, I'm enjoying the last 2-3 updates. I'm glad we had Dragon Spine and whatnot, but I think it's time, we need to move into the next step, because I always like a 6-month gap between the main story parts is more than fine. I'm fine with it as somebody coming from FCO. I'm okay with it as long as they drip feed us some stuff in between, which they have been with Dragon Spine and whatnot. But at a point, it's like, okay, now that we're here and you've done this much, move on to the next one. So Dainsliv's quest is good, but I want to see if it'll culminate into like a cliffhanger saying, oh, the next step is Inazuma. It's time to go there. It's time to move on, right? So hopefully that does bring us into that part maybe, but it's going to be very interesting to see how he will tie into the Abyss Herald, which we know is a extremely tall enemy, I must admit. When I saw the trailer for it, oh boy, it was something else. But hopefully we can challenge him more often than not. It does seem like he is going to be an elite boss. It seems like a new monster. It does say it in the Japanese Twitter. The next thing we have, of course, is the Monstat Festival, which I am going to drag all the way back. Of course, you guys might not be able to hear it because we might have background music playing it, and I'd rather not get copyright strike from MiHoYo. But we've got a couple of different events coming with the Monstat Festival. The primary one, as you can see, is a rhythm game or a very Osu style game. Hopefully it does pace up a bit and there's other difficulties to it, which we saw. There were 3 difficulties, it seemed like. So hopefully this is the lowest difficulty. From the event, we can obtain a lyre, which we can use to create music, which I'm very interested in seeing what people create, because I'm expecting some craziness. Like, I'm expecting people to like start performing the Demon Slayer OP or something via this harp that we get. But of course, there's also a couple of other things we get to do as well. There's an archery challenge, it seems like. So this is going to be a test of skill, which I personally do not have with archery. I'm going to probably get screwed over here quite badly. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna miss a couple of shots. So hopefully we can avoid it. Then there's a gliding event, which you can do everything in co-op, by the way, which is awesome. I'm looking forward to doing these mini events, maybe with a group of friends or people from chat on the 5.9 Twitch streams. This is the fun thing. I was like, bro, I'm so looking forward to this. Like, I'm genuinely astounded that we have what is effectively Fall Guys / Mario Party in Genshin Impact. Like, it's insane to me. So it seems like you get to do some mini games with a group of friends, and you literally just walk over and try and like complete these mini games. It seems like they give you buffs at the end of it, or I'm quite uncertain on exactly what's the purpose of these mini games, but hopefully there is an end goal, like maybe you challenge a boss at the end, or maybe there is a sort of like reward for how many ever mini games you complete or come first in. You get a certain reward compared to your friends who get a lesser reward for not beating the challenge on time or faster than you. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the mini game slash Fall Guys style mini game works. So these are the rewards from the events. Of course, we get the crowns, the dust of Azoth, I think it is, books, the lyre, and whatnot. But there is a new 4-star bow coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how it performs. Is it gonna be like Festering Desire, where it's good for a certain unit, maybe? Because I really like the Festering Desire, so hopefully the bow can live up to Festering Desire's quality, I would say. I think is the best word. The next thing we have is, like I said, this is something not expecting at all. This was something that I had not expected, and it's date events. Yes, Genshin Impact is becoming a dating simulator. So this is date event 1, apparently, which is consisting of 4 characters: Barbara, Noelle, Chongyun, and of course Bennett. So you can, even if you're male or female, you're going to be going on a date with all of these 4 characters, and it's a permanent thing. So even if you miss out on it or you can't come back to the game for a certain period of time, you can still do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the characters. We'll probably get one with Jean, Diluc, Xiao, maybe Zhongli. So it's gonna be very, very interesting, and I'm very curious to see what you can do. From what we've seen as well is that you can choose multiple routes and have different endings potentially. I'm very impressed. So let me know in the chat by comment section. By the way, chat, too much streaming. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good idea? And if so, what characters would you date? Would you want to date Kei-Ching? Would you want to date Mona? I was gonna say Barbara, she's on the list already, so you will have to date her. But Jean, Ganyu, let me know in the comment section down below, of course. To round off the last couple of things, of course, there's not that much going on. Of course, we have a new elite boss fight going on, so sort of like Cryo Regiswine, but this time it's against the Oceanid, and we get a new pet in the form of a mini Oceanid, so I'm looking forward to it. From the trailer, we could see the boss fight is quite different, unlike the Cryo Regiswine, which was for the most part similar to the normal Regiswine. This time you can actually hit the Oceanid, which is gonna be fun to do finally. After months and months of torture and pain and suffering, we can finally hit the Oceanid, which is good. And apart from that, there were other moves that were quite unique that you don't usually see in the Oceanid fight. So I'm looking forward to that. The next thing we also do have is the Contending Tides, quote unquote, from what I've read. It's called Contending Tides. It seems to be like it's an arena mode where you basically go through a bunch of bosses and enemies within a certain area, and you cannot leave the arena. So that's gonna be very cool. Doesn't seem anything too crazy, but it's something to look forward to, I suppose, in terms of content and combat purposes, sort of content. Seems cool. Generic set of rewards, but again, good content, I'd say. The next thing we have, of course, if my page loads up, is just general quality of life updates. Condensed resin can now be up to 5 instead of 3, so that's good. Much needed in my opinion. I think that's great. UI changes to the Spiralibus, which again is very, very good. Allows you to see the resonance tab as well. And then finally, again, it allows you to finally leave and go to the menu for Spiralibus, which is great, rather than just not allowing you to do so. So this is good. As I said, some UI updates, again, very, very nice. The final thing, and this is the funniest thing, because for those of you who have been unaware, is that China has had a special collaboration with KFC. And in China, they're going to be getting a special KFC glider. You heard me right. It's going to be a special KFC style glider where it's like red to beige / whitish. And that's the glider they're getting. We on the stream were like, when's it going to come to America? Oh no, it's not going to come. It's only going to be for China. Oh, well, tough luck. After the stream, they immediately tweeted out on the Japanese account saying, I was going to say on a specific day, but not on a specific day. In July, they will be officially releasing the KFC glider to the rest of the servers. It's still uncertain as to how they're planning on doing it, but they are planning on doing it, which is great. Again, superb. I'm looking forward to it, and it's gonna be great. But yeah, that's all from us today in regards to the 1.4 update. Let us know down in the comment section below, what are you most interested in? What do you like the most? Will you be summoning on the Venti Tartaglia rerun? The dating events, are you interested in that? The mini games and the Mario Party slash Fall Guys games, are you planning on doing it with co-op friends? Let us know in the comment section down below. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.